This is Real Q&A. I'm your host, Big Ant. Thank you for tuning in. Today I have 3 special guests, but right now, the guest that was about to speak right now, her name is Miss Judi Raines. She's an educator, she's a former teacher, and she got some knowledge to kick for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I need y'all to pay attention, get your books out, so y'all can find out all this good knowledge and utilize it. All right? So I'm going to put her on camera so she can introduce herself, and then I'm going to start getting her with these real questions. Oh, the sound is better? Oh, I appreciate that, man. Okay, so hold on 1 second. You go ahead and introduce yourself, miss.
Okay, my name is Judi Raines. I've been teaching over 30 years and a high school guidance counselor for 8 years. I love teaching. I breathe teaching, and I think it's one of the great professions of all time. I started in 1977, graduated from Adelphi, and my mom, who was working at payroll, got me my first teaching job at Boys and Girls High. I'd say I was there 2 weeks when someone came down the hallway saying, hey, 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 and when they opened the classroom door, it was Muhammad Ali. And I just blushed, and the kids went crazy. He was shaking everybody's hand. But okay. Education is great. It's been very good to me.
Cool. All right, so we're going to ask you, well, first of all, thank you for coming to Real Questions and Real Answers. We ask real questions. Are you ready to give some of these real answers?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
We can start with where I'm from.
Oh, that's what we're gonna do. We gotta know that. All right. So first of all, what's your sign?
My sign is Cancer.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's great. Loving person and stuff like that. We'll talk about the life path number off camera. Raji will help her with that later. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't got all time for that. Where you from?
I'm from the land of Nas, QB, Queensbridge, all the way.
Okay, QB. That was a fire answer. QB. Okay, definitely. I'm from Left Rack, so it's like a tit for tat situation. But right. Definitely, okay. So, cool. Well, you already told us what your profession is, right? So, what brings you here today?
What brings me here today is I want to let people know what is available in New York City. A lot of times, a lot of us say, oh, I'm going to drop out of school, or I don't have the money to go to college, and I can't study for the regions and the SATs. And every time I ask students, why aren't you in school? Man, I don't have the money. And there's a lot of programs out there. There's the HEOP program where you can go to college for free. They're not even aware of that. In New York State, HEOP. Higher Education Opportunity Program, where you can go to Cornell. You can go to Stony Brook. There's a lot of schools, and if you go on the website for HEOP, you'll see a list of about 30 schools. And the good thing is, you do not have to have a good average. You can have an average as low as 60. 60. And they help you get into school, and some of the HEOP programs give you a free computer at the end of the summer, which is like a prep before you go to college in September.
Okay.
Then you have the Upward Bound program. Upward Bound program is all over the city right now. It's in Manhattan on the campus of Columbia University, and it prepares high school students, 9th grade through 12th grade, for college. It tells them what to expect. You have the Gear Up program, which is run on St. John's University campus, which again, it prepares high school students for college, boys and girls. Takes them straight through the path of what to expect when they go to college. So they're not shocked, they're not surprised.
Okay.
We have the Discovery program. A lot of the students I want to go to Brooklyn Tech. Yo, I want to go to Bronx High School of Science. Yo, I want to go to Stuyvesant. And I said, and people say, well, how do I prepare? Where do I go? What book do I use? Well, there's a program called the Discovery program for youth, disadvantaged youth all over the city that prepares them for the specialized high schools. And a lot of times we're not aware of it. All of this is on the computer, and it's all free. I was in a situation where a youngster got into Brooklyn Tech and got into Stuyvesant, and their mother said, you can't go. He said, why can't I go? He said, I don't want you on the train 5 o'clock in the morning. And I said, 5 o'clock in the morning? They have a bus that goes to Brooklyn Tech. They have a bus that goes to Bronx High School of Science. They have a bus that goes just about everywhere that will take students to these schools direct and bring them home or someplace close to home. That, when parents don't want them on the subway, they don't have to be on the subway. And they're safe.
Cool. All right, so How long? I mean, what got you started teaching? Like, how did you even get started teaching?
I got started teaching. I was in my mother's third grade Sunday school class in Manhattan, and I was watching her teach, and I said, "Wow, I wonder if I could do it." And then at 8 years old, I went to see a movie called To Serve with Love, starring Sidney Poitier, and I was watching him. Here's a person that wanted to be an engineer, and he couldn't get a job. Black man trying to get a job as an engineer in New York City, so he took this job in London, and he started teaching these hard-headed kids. I mean, they were really hard-headed, but he turned them around. And I said, that's what I want to do.
Okay, cool. That's dope. You know, so at least you knew what you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids don't really knowing that. So, where was your first teaching job? Like, where was your first
My
teaching
first
job?
teaching job was at Boys and Girls High.
Oh.
It was in 1977.
Okay.
Everybody treated me like kid gloves because I was only like 20 years old. And I don't know if you realize this, but there are students in high school that are 21 years old. We do not make students leave high school until they're 21.
21 years old.
So people saying
I didn't know that.
the teacher.
My mother didn't play those games.
Yes. So you could be coming out of college at 19 or 20 and see students in high school that are 21 years old. But the experience was nice. I met a lot of great people. Maybe you heard of the person, very famous, became a famous principal, Frank Mickens, who was coaching the Kangaroos at the time at Boys and Girls High.
The coach for that.
Yes, fantastic teacher,
Okay.
and a dean and everything.
Yeah,
So I learned from masters.
Good.
You know,
Yeah, I actually play basketball, so yeah, I definitely know. Like,
You know.
anybody that's about basketball, I know that.
You know.
Yeah, okay. So, why did you teach there originally?
I taught at Boys and Girls High because my mother was working as a secretary at the old Boys High. And she heard that they were building Boys and Girls High on Utica Avenue, and she wanted to go to the new building, and she told the principal that was going to be Dr. Delius Wilson, you know, my daughter's graduating from Adelphi, could you please give her a chance and give her a job as a teacher? And that's how I got in.
Cool. What do you enjoy most about your job?
I enjoy the experience of the students. I enjoy hearing what they have to say, their goals, their aspirations. I like taking them on trips, you know, and seeing their reaction when they go to the first Broadway play. I took my students at night to see Dreamgirls. I said, any child that is at Prospect Heights, if you can get 100% attendance for like the next 5-6 months, you're going to get a free ticket to see Dreamgirls.
Giving them knowledge already.
Right, so they get to go to see Dreamgirls. I've done college tours. I took students, about 60 students, to Harvard, to Yale. And, you know, sometimes teachers say, well, why would you take them to Harvard and Yale? They don't have 90 averages. I said, but see, when you expose students to different things, that makes them want to aim higher.
Well, that's a fact.
And that's very important. And a lot of them came back changed.
My brother, my middle brother, he went to Howard University, and the reason why he went there is good for a law program and stuff like that.
Yes.
Initially, he didn't want to go to that school because he thought, you know, being from the neighborhood, being a lawyer and all that stuff is not really considered cool. Everybody want to play ball and do all that other stuff. But when he got exposed, a teacher like you took him down there, and he went to the law program. He ended up getting a scholarship and all that. Yeah, so you're right. You got to expose the kids to that type of stuff. I agree.
It's so important. The exposure is so important.
Okay, so this is one of the questions that is kind of crazy that me and you both had these, so I'm going to ask you the question. What resources do you wish kids took more advantage of?
Oh, definitely the library. You know, the library in their school, the library, you know, the public library. These programs, like I discussed, in the summertime, a lot of kids aren't doing anything, and these programs are free. Upward Bound, they give free Metro cards. They help the kids if they fail the subject or if they want to advance. The programs, the newspapers, just be more aware. I'd like kids to take more advantage of college fairs. There are college fairs all over the city all year round, and college fairs in the high school, college fairs over by York, I think it's called the Apple Fairs, where all these colleges from the south and the north are representing themselves and telling what the majors are and how much it costs. And I think a lot of kids will be turned on to continuing ed if they attended these college fairs.
No, you're right. I mean, I really got into education. My mom, that was a big proponent of my mom that she instilled in me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I played ball, so when I had played ball, it was like that. When I wanted to go to these big schools, I ended up learning that you got to have a certain average to get in certain schools,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But like you said, by that also being there's so many different types of loopholes and like programs they have that people don't know that they're not aware. My coach, he had pull up a whole list. It was like a list of different types of programs that kids can take. Nobody knows about this stuff,
Right.
So I'm glad that you're here today to help people know about that stuff.
Yeah.
What is SHSAT? What's that?
Okay, SHSAT, it's Specialized High Schools Admissions Test.
Mm-hmm.
When a child wants to say, I want to go to Brooklyn Tech, I want to go to Bronx High School of Science, I want to go to Stuyvesant, this is an exam that they will have to take in order to get into the school. There was a school, Frank Sinatra School of Performing Arts.
Yeah.
But that's different. You audition for that or you set up portfolios for that. But the other schools like Stuyvesant and Hunter and Bronx High School of Science, there is a specialized 2-hour test that you have to take. You can take it in the 8th grade. If you don't do well, you can retake it again in the 9th grade. But a lot of times our kids, they shun away from these schools because the fact is, I can't prepare. They have books and they have the old tests. Some of the old tests are online as well so that you can prepare for these schools. My sister went to Brooklyn Tech and the kid across the street went to Brooklyn Tech and today he's a judge. So the schools do give you that little edge. It gives you an edge sometimes when you're trying to get a job to be able to say, I'm a graduate from Stuyvesant, I'm a graduate from here. Not all the time, but sometimes it gives you that edge.
Okay. If you could give a parent's message regarding their children in public school, what would it be?
Be patient. Be patient. And if you can't make parents teachers night, that's all right. You can make an appointment to see a teacher at any time, any day. It doesn't have to be parents teachers night. You don't have to wait till it's report card time. You can see your child's records any time. Find out who the guidance counselor is. Sit down with that guidance counselor and have a conversation. How is David doing? How is he really doing? Is he listening? Is he paying attention in class? Is he passing his classes? Today, it's not hard for a student to have a report card and run that report card through his computer and change the grades, as some of my students have told me. Mm-hmm. So they'll take failing grades and flip them, and parents will not know because it's printed, through the computer. Okay. I don't know how they do it, but sometimes they can do it.
What's different from the schools now from when you last attended?
Classes, I think, are a little bit more crowded. You don't have as many after-school programs. We used to have a lot of after-school programs: basketball, volleyball, double dutch. I was coach of the double dutch team. I was coach of the step team. We had the choir, and then we went on a lot of trips. A lot of that stuff has been cut out, and kids are bored. When they get out of school, when class is over, not everybody wants to run to the library or McDonald's or wherever it is that they go. But a lot of these programs are no longer around, and it's for many reasons. The funding was cut. Some of the teachers they're like, why should I stay and this and that. They don't seem to see the value of it. But when kids attend after school programs, when they come in your classroom, they're calmer. They're more willing to listen because they'll say, Miss Raines, she's not so bad. She's teaching us English and social studies, but man, I hear she's tearing up the step team. They won first place 3 times, 3 years in a row. When a kid gets to see their teacher in another role, it makes them want to listen. And that's very important as well.
Cool. Like, what age do you feel like kids should start visiting colleges when they have aspirations to go to school?
I think as soon as they can. 9 years old, 10 years old. I've taken kids as young as 8 years old because we don't think that they can comprehend what they're looking at, but they know what they want. And it's very, very important. My mother worked at Queensboro Community College with one of the youngest presidents, Smeller, in the city. And it was very important for me as a student that was in high school in 9th, 10th grade to be on a college campus, see the cafeteria, see the gym, see the classrooms. Very important. It opens a child's world, opens their minds.
I know a lot of y'all girls in here, man. Y'all got kids. Y'all better start answering questions, man. I see y'all they complimenting you and everything, but y'all better ask questions if you got questions. I got a question.
Okay,
How
go
do you
ahead.
feel about them like the now like with them trying to force a lot of kids to go into special education?
I'm really against that. I think parents should come up to the school and investigate, why do you want my child to go into special education? Just as parents should ask, why should my child be put on medication? Certain medications.
That was my next question.
A lot of times kids are put in special ed not because they're special ed, but because their attendance record was so bad. They weren't coming to school. So sometimes they're tracked with special ed because of that. Sometimes it might be because of one incident. A kid was angry, something happened in their life, grandma died or something, they threw a chair, But there are conferences that parents can attend, and there are compromises that can be made, and, special ed doesn't have to be the first form of action that we take to place the kids. I mean, you have schools for the talented and gifted. Just as you test a kid for special ed, you test a kid for talent and giftedness. Mm-hmm. We have these schools all over the city. I know that I went to PS 166 and we had to take a statewide reading test. I think it was called the Iowa test.
Okay.
And I remember very distinctly, I was in the 5th grade. They called me to the principal's office and said, oh God, what did I do? Because back then, you called to the principal's office, that means you was in some serious trouble. Mm-hmm. And two white boys were called, and I was called. And we stood there, 3 of us, and they said we scored the highest in the district, and we were going to a school for intellectually gifted children, IGC, which meant I had to come out of school, leave my friends, and go to school in Manhattan. But to know that these programs are available, that assess and address our children's needs is very important. Kids are bored when they're smart. When they're very smart. And if they're not challenged,
I hated it.
It's like, forget you.
Shout out to Miss Cannon. That was
It's
my favorite
not
teacher.
that I don't
She challenged me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta challenge me, man.
You gotta challenge.
Yeah. That's one. Man, you answered one of my questions already. Okay, so I have another question.
Okay.
How do you feel about homeschooling? Are you against it, or do you feel that kids need to be in a public school environment?
No, I'm not against homeschooling. I'm not against charter schools. I'm not against private schools. I think anywhere that a child's going to get educated. But the thing is, it's very important for the parents to get the curriculum from the school so they cover everything, because these kids are still going to be expected to take the regions. Mm-hmm. They still have to take SATs to get into certain colleges, and if they're not prepared for those tests, it's like, But there has been a lot of great data on kids that are homeschooled. There has been great data on kids that went to Quaker schools and charter schools. Mm-hmm. But if you do the homework, it can work.
They can.
Parents have.
One of my friends I went to school with, he got a scholarship, basketball scholarship. He never went to public school his whole life until it was time to play basketball, and then he was like one of the best students in our school. So he was homeschooled his whole life. So. How do you feel about the curriculum now? Like, being taught from my sister, because my sister has a 5-year-old, and also a lot of my friends, they have kids in school, and they're saying that the curriculum is changing to like, they're not really mentioning slavery as much as they used to, or Black history in general.
Right.
Do you feel that's going on, or you feel, how do people battle that?
Well, when I was in public school, they didn't mention. Slavery was mentioned, the Middle Passage was mentioned, but there wasn't a lot of time spent on it. Mm-hmm. You really got your Black history when you went to college. And if you went to Medgar Evers College, certain colleges really focused on it. Okay. But a lot of public schools, no. But they are making an effort to talk about different cultures. They are making an effort to change the libraries so they represent all cultures. Okay. And I think that a lot of these books came from libraries all over the United States.
Yeah, now she has a whole bunch of books on the table. I'm going to tell her to get her way so I can contact her to purchase her books. But I see a lot of books on here that's very interesting, very, very, very interesting people that I know a lot about. So how would they get the purchase one of these books from you? Where can they get the book from you?
Oh, well, I can definitely give my email address. Mm-hmm. My email address is my name, JUDI, B as in boy, ELLE. RAINES at AOL.com. But I'm hoping to be part of a book sale at the Hollis Library. I'm still waiting to get permission for that.
So she's in the neighborhood, y'all.
I'm right in the neighborhood, and because these books are from my personal library. And once I've read them and tutored with students with them over and over again. I just say, I'd like to pass them on. Knowledge is something that you have to pass on.
Knowledge is no wasted unless you pass it. My father's always said, yeah.
And these books are very well written, and they're quick. Students can get the real gist of a person's life. There's a lot of details in the book. So, very important. I use books to teach. I use newspapers to teach, and the kids, they really like that. Also, I believe in having a lot of the authors come to the classroom. I had an exciting author when I was at Andrew Jackson High School. There's a book that goes around goes around the prison. I think every prison has read it.
Right.
Man, Child of the Promised Land. Ed Lover was there, and we're talking about. They'll take me back to the day.
Shout out Ed Lover.
Yeah, but it was something back in the days, and they had fashion shows and everything. But we had guests. Cloyd Brown of Man, Child of the Promised Land came to my class with Perry Thomas, who wrote Down These Mean Streets.
So what I'm gonna do is, because I got like 4 people that say want to buy a book right now. This is what I'm gonna do. Because what I'm saying, we a little bit more technological savvy, whatever. Yes. I'm gonna have her set up a cash. You have Cash App?
No, I don't have.
She gonna set up a Cash App, but before she leave.
Right, but I would rather them wait and see about the Hollis. We're gonna do the Hollis book sale.
But some of these people don't live in New York.
Oh, in New York. Okay.
So they might. What I'm saying is, you gotta get the money while they wouldn't spend it. Look. I'm gonna get her to set up Cash App, and what she gonna do is y'all gonna send her the chicken, and then we'll figure out how to mail y'all the book. That's what we're gonna do. Okay? Yeah. There you go. Yep. There you go. Exactly. See, that's how you get your money right there. People are willing to buy it now. You need them to get to buy it now. You know what I'm saying? All right.
I hear what you're saying.
It's all about business. We got to support black business at all times. Money first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But these are from my personal library, and I'm just happy to pass them on.
Let me show y'all
so
one.
people could
See that?
Yes.
In really good condition too. They're not like old now. Like
no. Yeah, and a lot of the books I get through different, companies where they sell used books, very good condition, and that's what I use. Because sometimes you can't even see these books in regular public libraries on the shelves.
I'm gonna have a whole list of them on YouTube.
Oh, okay, that's good.
We're gonna take all the pictures. We got you.
Okay, good.
But yeah, they're asking. So
they're asking already.
Yeah,
this is one of my favorites.
Just about that. That's my next question.
Quotes of former President Obama. I love this book. The students love it. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you gotta be sorry. I'm glad you even said that. I was gonna add. That was my next question. What's one of these is your favorite book? But you answered my question. Like you're reading my mind right now.
Yes. And as you see, this book on the table, the big loose leaf, is when I'm talking to a student and the parent says, I can't do anything. I can't do anything with Michael. What do you suggest? I pull out this big book, and this big book, as you can see, it has former President Obama on it, and Get to Your Class on Time, which is very, very important that students don't miss their lessons. And inside the book, it's how to keep kids on track. What are your goals? What are your plans? Where do you go if you need help for the regions, the SATs? What do I ask my guidance counselor? What do I say if I get into trouble? Can I be suspended because I didn't take my hat off in class? I mean, but kids don't know that. They don't know their rights. No. It's very important that kids know their rights. There's a list of rights for kids that go to New York City public schools, and they need to know those rights.
Shout out to my mom. She watching right now. She know I was terrible. I knew my right. My mother made sure I knew everything. Listen, they can't tell you nothing but just behave. That's it. Anything else, you ain't got to do none of that. Pledge your allegiance, all that type of stuff. You ain't gotta go crazy. You can't fight. They get suspended for none of that. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get you a Cash App set up before. I don't know if y'all want to hang out with us. I don't know how Don is. He in the background. I don't know what he's doing right now. But like I said, as we get y'all set up with that. I'm gonna tell you how to do it so you can set it up so I can get my friends and them to buy these books from you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to say before I wrap this up?
Love your kids. I always tell my students at the end of every class, when you go home, hug your parents.
Man, you're right.
Kiss your parents. Do the dishes. Take the garbage out. Tell them that you love them because they're working so hard for you to get and be further than where they are. Please, every chance that you get, tell them that you love them. It's so important. It makes a difference for them. It makes a big difference for yourself.
Man. That's a great message, you know what I'm saying? I lost my pops, so I already know what it is, you know what I'm saying?
I lost my mom.
Just to hear that voice again, I would do anything. But thanks for being here today, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you for inviting me. I feel honored,
you know what I'm saying?
To be here.
I think we need to work on some other stuff. I'm going to talk to you about that on camera. We gotta figure something else out. But you have been a delightful guest today. You actually made my
Thank
day
you.
today. You know what I'm saying? Roger, how you feel about that?
I thought this was amazing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
it.
You know what I mean?
Just
Like,
to be
honestly,
in
man.
the presence of real people that care about education and knowledge. It's just an honor.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, a lot of parents just got to be more involved in their children's lives. You know what I'm saying? I've been around, like, you know, I have a lot of female friends that are single moms, and they struggling out here, and these kids, they need that attention, you know?
Yes,
especially
yes.
when it comes to education. So
Right,
gotta
and not
figure out
wait
a
till
way.
the end.
Don't
Not wait till the end.
end.
You're not graduating? Why not? I
Well-
got my dress all ready to see you. Your father has his suit. It's a continuous path.
Okay, yep. So we're going to try to get her to set up an Instagram.
Okay.
That's going to be Don's job. Get him to set you up.
Okay.
Give him something to do. You know what I'm saying? You have to have an Instagram. Yo, listen, if you spoke about stuff like this all the time, you probably would be like, people will just listen to you because you have the essence.
And knowledge.
So, knowledge, and we need knowledge. Knowledge is power. So
Knowledge is power.
that's it. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming and spending time with me today.
Yes.
And spend time with my crew, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you want, you can hang out with us. I'm about to interview, why forgot your name just now? Hold on, Miss Spice right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Kiosha.
Okay, hello, my name is Judi Raines, and I'm an educator, and thank you for having me on Real Q&A.
That was dope.